How the heck do you write down a sign language? You might be thinking you just write English like everybody else, but that doesn't really count because you're writing the spoken language English, not the sign language. For instance, American Sign Language and British Sign Language are not mutually intelligible, but obviously American English and British English are. So while most deaf folks know a sign language and also a written language, they're usually two separate languages, making them sign print bilingual. But what if you didn't want to write in a separate language than the one you communicate in daily? Like, how would you even represent a sign language on paper? Many different systems have been proposed, but one of the most popular ones is called sign writing, developed by a dancer named Valerie Sutton. It uses visual symbols to represent the facial expressions, hand shapes, and hand movements that are used by sign languages. And kind of like the Latin alphabet can be used to represent a ton of different spoken languages, it can be used to represent a ton of different sign languages. For instance, here's a page in a children's book written in Brazilian Sign Language using sign writing. There have even been more in-depth approaches to create a sign language international phonetic alphabet. The goal of this, kind of like the IPA for spoken languages, is to create a full text description of all sign languages. This one right here is actually created by David J. Peterson, the same guy who made the Game of Thrones languages like Dothraki and High Valyrian and stuff. So sign language writing systems do exist, but it's not super common to use them. This is because most deaf people are sign print bilingual, and it's usually easier to find resources for writing the spoken language. It's also worth noting that because they're so bilingual, deaf people will often borrow words from spoken languages into their sign languages. And they can do this by representing the spelling of the word using finger spelling.